everyone. Today is Friday, May 19th, 2023, and I am just taking a walk through the backyard garden to harvest some fresh lettuce, and I thought I'd bring you along with me. So I'm sitting back here in the garden, waiting patiently for Landscaper Friday to get over. It goes on for hours and hours. I mean, I know people have to get their lawn cut, and I know these guys work really, really hard, and I can appreciate it because we take care of our own grass. Oh, hello, bee. But when they converge on, 7 houses at the same time, and the droning of the blowers and the trimmers, and it drives me crazy. So I'm sitting here with my gigantic bee friend. I'm hoping that he does not sting me, and I'm about to harvest some of this beautiful lettuce. Look at this bronze beauty. Oh my goodness, this is so gorgeous. This reminds me of the actual oak leaf variety that I am growing for the first time from M.I. Gardener. The Bronze Beauty is from Baker Creek. But look at this Lolo in the background. Oh my gosh. I like to do the cut and come again method with these lettuces, and you'll see at the end, I'll show you, I make an actual work of art with the lettuce. It's very, very appetizing. The other day, I finally went and harvested one of those giant heads of lettuce over by the corn patch, and it was so incredible. And now, I have a greater appreciation. This was the first time I actually let my lettuce go to a full-size head like that. Now, granted, that lettuce over there is volunteers, and I've never had lettuce pulled fresh from an actual field where it was a full head. You go to the store and you can see they chopped off some of the leaves, and they give you this nice little compact head. And I've always wondered about it. So I went over, and instinctively I knew that I had to, almost like harvesting a cabbage, where you have to fold back all of those beautiful ruffly outer leaves, which are really pretty much inedible. And you have to get to more of the heart of the head of the lettuce. And I'll tell you, it was so beautiful, but it was so full of slugs. It was full of slugs. And even though there wasn't any damage, they were just in there. So I'm peeling it back, getting rid of the slugs, and then finally I just got to this beautiful heart of red romaine lettuce, and it was just incredible. So I'm hoping to have another head. I could possibly pull one of my little gem heads here and see how well that held up, and the Tom Thumb. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and fill this bowl so that this is outrageous. I think this is outrageous, or this one is Lunix. I love this lettuce. We have outrageous, we have red sails. There's so many varieties, and of just the reds that I absolutely love. So I'm gonna get this bowl nice and full, and I'll take it in and rinse it and get it chilled, and then I'll make a beautiful salad, and I'll show it to you after I've made it. But right now I'm going to turn the camera around and give you a closer look at some of these varieties in case you're interested in trying to grow lettuce from seed on your own. So this has been a really satisfying year, and this, I think, I get the Flashy Butter Gem and the Forellenschluss confused. This one is Flashy Butter Gem. Isn't this just gorgeous? Look at the leaves on that. And that back there with the red speckles is Forellenschluss. This Lolo Rosa is absolutely incredible. This center heart here is from a head last year that was here that we harvested from many times, and I just left it in the ground and it came back. Which one do we have here? Let's see. I left all my little name tags in this one. This beauty here is Red Sails. And I think that this one here might be some more red sails. This is Merlot, which is really very difficult to germinate. But I took my time this year. Let me get back over here. And I remained patient. And part of my patience was because I just didn't have the time to get back here and harvest the lettuce. So now the benefit is I have all this beautiful Merlot sitting and waiting for me. This lettuce here, don't know why, I don't have a name tag. Oh, yeah, I do have one. Oh, this is Solar Flare. Absolutely gorgeous, very delicious lettuce. Let's see. This is May Queen lettuce, and this comes to little tiny heads inside as well. So here we have the outrageous, which is absolutely incredibly gorgeous. Oh my goodness. So these varieties here are the ones that grow the easiest. Let's see. Thought I had some name tags here. I think that this one here might be the, oh yes, this is Parasilene cause. I should be able to identify all of this by now, but I have so many varieties, it often gets to be a little bit difficult. Really beautiful though. This is the Four Seasons variety, which is also very good and more tender. It has the texture more like this Butter King does, which is really gorgeous. And I like growing all of these varieties because it adds different texture to your meal. And when you're a vegetarian and you just eat fresh raw greens like we do, having different textures in the bowl really does just, it does something extra to, I don't know, just the experience of the crunching of the salad. And then, you know, you get this wonderful lettuce in here, and it really does brighten it up. And it's really, really great for rehydrating yourself, which honestly at this time right now, I do desperately need to be rehydrated. This year my lettuce got a little bit confused. I didn't have all of my little name tags with me, and now for some reason the little birds this year find it interesting to come around. And I don't know if it's a little game that they're playing with me in my you know, in my little fantasy story brain. They are coming and playing little tricks with me to try to confuse me, but that's not what I really think. But they're stealing the name tags and they're using it for nesting material, and it's very frustrating because I know that I made tags for all of this stuff, and then I'll come out and it's just gone. And I'm looking at stuff trying to wonder what it is from my tiny little brain. But all of these lettuces here are super easy to grow from seed. Now, I did start these indoors several weeks ago, and I can attach a video to that that we made. And every year I do lettuce where I start the seed and try to get it going indoors just so I know what it is. I do that in the spring and in the fall. And we have lettuce for most of the months of the year. These have been the easiest varieties that I have been trying to grow, and there are several more that I would still like to try. Come this year, I'll be doing things a little bit different, and I'll be trying to grow in the green stalk over by the greenhouse so that when it gets cold enough, I can just pick up the entire green stalk and put it into the greenhouse and see how well we can overwinter it. So I'm going to get my bowl harvested here, and then I'll bring you inside as I'm cleaning everything up, and I'll show you my final salad. So also for some texture, I like to come back and harvest some fresh kale. This is the Toscano kale that I've been growing from Baker Creek, and I'll add a few clean sprigs of that. It seems like the cabbage loopers are leaving it alone. I'm also going to add some of this beautiful scarlet kale that is very difficult to germinate, but if you're patient with it, once it gets going, it's actually very beautiful and very, very flavorful. I'm going to go over by the greenhouse and grab some of the dazzling blue, and hopefully I can conjure up some blue curled scotch, which I know is all over the garden. It's just that it's bolted and it might be a little bitter. So I'll go ahead and carefully find some of that and add that into the salads as well. Well, most of that blue curled scotch kale really has gone to seed here and bolted, but there's a few little tiny tender shoots here that I'll add to the center, and it really only takes a few tiny sprigs of fresh kale as a microgreen in the salad to brighten up the flavor a little bit. You don't need a ton, because as it gets bigger, it gets just more bitter and harder in flavor. But these things here are an excellent source of iron for your diet, in addition to all of this beautiful fiber and again, hydration. There's also a lot of micronutrients in some of these darker lettuces and antioxidants, but the real source of nutrition comes from eating raw spinach daily. Oh, over here is some iceberg lettuce that I got from MI Gardener and started as seed in the same containers as everything else, and it really didn't do too well. It was very sensitive, and I did have 6 heads, but only 3 really survived, and I'm allowing these to go to full size so I can try to harvest them from head. But something else that everyone in the whole world got as gardeners who ordered from Baker Creek, do you know what it is? I think someone does. It's Mizuna. This is actually really delicious, and I started this from seed. You can see it's starting to bolt. I don't know if this is going to work as effectively as regular mustard does in the garden to attract things like harlequin beetles and different types of loopers, but I may harvest a few leaves of this just to add into the salad for some texture, and I'm going to let it hang on as it goes to seed so that it can work as a trap crop as well. Well, this cress that I grew from seed from MI Gardener is actually doing really beautifully. I think I'm going to just harvest a little tiny bit of this and sprinkle onto the top of the salad. This is very, very peppery. It's very much like arugula. It does have a bite to it, and it goes from bitter to refreshing in the palate. It's very interesting. So I'm not going to add a whole lot because we're eating it raw, but I will add some to the top. Look at this gorgeous, dazzling blue kale. I think from now on, I'm going to grow my kale in these little dollar store pots so that they're not just added in everywhere to the garden. I can allow my kale to grow by itself, and for some reason, the cabbage loopers are not coming over here and bothering this beautiful kale at all. And I wonder if it's because Pen the Dragon, he is our garden guardian. He is making sure that he is the only winged creature that can have his share of what he wants. And he doesn't eat kale, so he's not eating the kale. He's not letting the cabbage loopers eat it either. Been hiding some radicchio over here. Going to harvest some of this as well and add it in. Now, if I plant this out in the garden, this will become heads, and it's best grilled, but it makes a delicious micro green for the tops of the salads as well. It's so hard to not be distracted when I come out here. Will you look at this? Oh my goodness. Here's something you're going to want to stay tuned for. We are under Hasani, the beautiful Japanese maple tree here. This is some kind of wildfire primrose. This whole field of primrose here is going to turn the most glorious color of yellow, and as it sits here under the beautiful Hasani, you're going to want to stay tuned to see what it looks like as a show when this is all in full bloom at the same time. So now I'm back in the kitchen, and I like to just take this big stainless steel bowl I have. Look, I have a whole entire heart of beautiful parasilicas. I like to soak everything inside of cold water and give it a nice shock, because you can count on it that when you grow fresh lettuce, you're going to bring in aphids. You're probably going to bring in at least one slug or a baby slug, and some type of a cabbage looper worm. So you just never know what's going to be in the lettuce. So I give it a good soak and a rinse, and then I'll put it in the salad spinner and get it dried, and I'll put that in the refrigerator, and it will crisp up nicely, and then we'll have a beautiful salad. So here's the beginning of the salad, and I can attach our salad video and how I make all of this fresh. It's mostly spinach, carrots, cucumbers, red cabbage, red onion, different radishes, daikon. To that I always add a mango. We get an avocado a piece, and this is a tasteless store-bought tomato. So I'll add these things in, and then I'll go ahead and build the rest of the salad. So here they are, you guys. Look at all these varieties. of lettuce and kale. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh my gosh, can't wait to have this. It is so delicious and crunchy. And I am so happy when it's lettuce season. So this, I'm telling you, is so incredible to eat. Isn't she lovely? Yummy.